I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on GBM, we're diving deep into marriage success secrets. We're talking to a terrific author. His name is Marcus Girard. He married his high school sweetheart, and they've been married for more than 3 decades. They have cracked the code on lasting love and raised 6 amazing children. Their groundbreaking new book is called Successful Couples Do What Unsuccessful Couples Don't Do: 200 Powerful Tips for Greatness in Marriage. In the book, they reveal game-changing tips that separate thriving marriages from struggling ones. Get ready for real talk about communication, trust, and the daily habits that can build unbreakable bonds. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him on TV today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Marcus, thank you so much for joining us today from the ATL. Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. You guys have built a lasting relationship. 33 years and counting is quite a milestone. Did you go into it thinking it was forever or insisting it would be forever? Tell me what your thoughts were when you were younger and 3 decades ago.
I knew it was going to be forever.
Yeah.
When I saw her for the first time in high school, I told her that I would be her husband one day, and the first child we would have would be a boy. It happened just the way I said it. And my wife, she wasn't a believer at all
That's
in me,
wonderful.
but I believe she has bought into it now, and she believes it.
Yeah. She was your first love, obviously. Do you
Yes.
think marrying your first love is one of your secrets?
I think so. I think a lot of people are looking for love in all the wrong places, mind you.
Looking for love in too many faces. I know the song too. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think if you date too many people, you become confused. You feel like people are replaceable, and they're
Yes,
not. There
it's
is a
very
special
true.
someone for everyone, right?
Believe so. And I believe that I found the one that was for me. And I'm not looking for anyone else.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You're blessed that you found the girl of your dreams while still in high school. It's almost like your career. You're blessed if you know what you want to do at a young age. I think you're blessed if you know who you're going to love for the rest of your life at a young age. I think it makes things easier because certainly divorces are very, very hard and very, very costly. Give us some of the tips for a great marriage. What are some of those 200 tips?
Well, I can tell you that successful couples do what unsuccessful couples don't do.
Yeah.
And one of the things that unsuccessful couples do is they avoid tough conversations about money, intimacy, family, etc. And they assume their partner should already know what's wrong with them. And I think that that's a lot of the problem in to 2025. We assume way too much about our partners, and that strips away from us the opportunity to be curious about what's going on with our partner.
Exactly. As they say in Cool Hand Luke, we've got a failure to communicate, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
the failure to communicate's a big thing, like when it comes to money, when it comes to love and sex, when it comes to, other big issues in your life. Even if they're uncomfortable conversations, you need to talk about them, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And I think that because we don't necessarily know how to talk, to continue to talk,
Yeah.
then we rely on what we've seen in our lives. And some of what we've seen in our lives has not been good for maintaining a successful relationship. And so a lot of us, we engage in a silent treatment. And that's happening in a lot of marriages. And instead of expressing your feelings, we rely on that way too much to get us across that river.
Yeah. You hunker down in your hurt and refuse to talk to her and she refuses to talk to you, that's a recipe for disaster because you need to be
Sure is.
talking. And, I think we were all taught growing up by our parents, never go to bed angry. And I think that is a good advice. You got some great advice listening to the words of Minister Louis Farrakhan.
I
Tell us
did.
what he said about marriage and why it struck you.
Well, what he told me about marriage is that a lot of us are in relationships that are poorly structured and poorly established. We don't establish marriage on the right basis. We establish marriage on the basis of sex and looking at her behind. But he said to me that you have to have more with that person than just a physical connection. The biggest connection that you have to have with a relationship is you have to have a spiritual connection with that person. And that's what he's encouraged me to do with Cecilia is have a spiritual connection. And when you're dealing with the spiritual, that never ends. The physical
Exactly.
will end in a few seconds,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
the
Exactly.
the big thing about relationships is the spiritual connection that you can have with the person.
Yeah, absolutely. I often use the analogy of wanting somebody in your foxhole, okay? Like you're at war. Because let's face it, when you're a couple, it's like you and her against the world. You know what I mean?
Yes,
You've got to
I
deal with
do.
banks and employers and nonsense and in-laws and whatever it is. But if you guys are hunkered down together and you guys communicate well and you have a strong relationship, you can almost conquer anything. I mean, it really is the basis of financial success. It's the basis of happiness and the
Yes.
basis of, those long, wonderful, extended family moments that a lot of people miss out on because they couldn't stay in love or married to the mother of their children, right?
So unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. And I mean to tell you that, oh my goodness, when I think of the counseling that we do and the stuff that people are getting divorced over nowadays, so frivolous that they would get divorced because a person doesn't understand how they operate, how they do this, how they do that. We have to communicate. Communication, there is no relationship except you communicate. And that's one of the things I learned from the minister. You must communicate with the person that you are in a relationship with so that it can continue to grow forward, grow up out of the misery of not speaking with each other.
Psychologists will actually tell you communication is the relationship.
Right.
That's the whole relationship, the communicating with each other and that bond that you have and how effectively you do it. Everybody has conflicts, everybody has problems.
That's true.
The successful couples resolve those problems peacefully. And they're the ones that thrive, in my opinion. And it seems like in your opinion as well. Talk to us about your yearly marriage retreats that you host with Cecilia.
So every year we host a huge marriage retreat. This year we just left the city of Detroit, Michigan, and we had a wonderful time there with people of Detroit. We have every year we set up a marriage retreat. It's an opportunity for you to come and retreat out of this world and get something special for your relationship. And it is growing beautifully. And I'm just very grateful to Almighty God that He gives us an opportunity to do that continuously. This was our 15th year of doing it. Next year, of course, will be our 16th year, and we're going to Philadelphia next year, and it's going to be wonderful, my friend.
Well, I think it's wonderful for the participants to be joining you with a couple that set such a great example and with a man and woman who have great spirits and passion towards this. faith is important to you, the spiritual connection with your wife is important to you.
Yes.
Talk to us about that aspect of a relationship when, this is a union that God has joined together, let no man put asunder, right?
Yes, that is true. And I can tell you um, that if you and her can't get along spiritually, you know, that is a problem because unless a man and woman is joined together in their heart, in their mind, in their spirit, how can you walk together in life if you're not joined together in your spirit? So we are, of course, we are praying people. We pray all the time that God will bless us and his spirit will be upon us to bless us and keep us in his faith and in his light. And I can tell you that that's a problem that we have to work on. If there's no prayer life in your relationship, how are you going to make it? That's one of the things that we mentioned in this book. You have to have a prayer life. There must be something, somebody that you turn to other than yourself that is available to help you, and I can tell you that that's been my secret of success is to have an active prayer life. We not call on God when things are going wrong, but call on him when things are going well,
Right.
that he
Right.
will continue to bless you so that things will continue to go well. And I think that that's a wonderful thing, a wonderful secret that I found in marriage, that you have to pray. MC Hammer coincidentally said you have to pray just to make it today.
Exactly, exactly. MC Hammer, I haven't thought about him in a long time. I think you got to pray just to make it today. I remember those lines for sure. And
Yes.
it's very, very true. I often feel, I have great faith and I pray a lot, and it's so comforting to me. I don't know how people who don't have faith get by. I
Woo!
really don't. If you don't have
Yes,
the Lord to
yes.
pray to ask for his intervention, for his help, or like you said, to express your gratitude,
Right.
it must be a lonely ride for sure. When the
Mm.
folks are done with your book, what's your hope for them? What's your prayer for them?
My prayer is that they will understand why I wrote the book, why we wrote the book. We wrote the book for you in hopes that you would see that there are things about marriage that you may not know. And this book is a help to you. It's a help to get you started on the successful things that people do that the unsuccessful are not doing. And it will help you greatly to understand that and then implement some of them in your life so that you too can be successful.
Exactly. Exactly. We got to pray that we make it today, to quote NC Hammer one more time. And you've done a great job explaining your book today
Thank
and
you.
the thought and philosophy behind it. The name of the book is Successful Couples Do What Unsuccessful Couples Don't Do. 200 powerful tips for greatness in marriage. It's a great read. It's an easy read. It'll spark conversations between you and your spouse. Perhaps you should read it together if you're going through a hard time or a rocky road. If you're thinking about getting married, read this book because it'll remind you of what you need to do, the work that goes into it. It's not all easy. No matter how much you love her and she loves him, if it was as simple as loving each other, divorce courts wouldn't be packed outside the
We
door.
all would make it. We all would make
Exactly.
it if that
Yeah,
was the
it,
case.
it ain't easy, that's for sure. The book reveals great game-changing tips that separate thriving marriages from struggling ones. Marcus, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I appreciate your time, your insight, and the wonderful work you've done on this book. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time.